Okay, here's a writing prompt. What is the number one goal you want to achieve as a writer? To reach your main writing goal, what do you need to do? I I don't have a clear-cut goal, but if I had to put it into words as a nebulous concept, it would be to write something really incredible that only I could write. I think I'm constantly unimpressed with the idea of being structurally and like technically perfect. I've said this before, perfection is not interesting. Because perfection there's kind of a groundwork for it, right? Like everybody analyzes media and comes away with like what are the pros and cons? Like what did you do bad, what did you do good? And if you just study those and like don't do any of the things you're not supposed to do and do all the things you are supposed to do, congratulations, you've made something perfect. You know, not a lot of people can pull it off. Not a lot of people are interested in pulling it off because most people want to create something that has some personal edge to it. You know, like it's kind of difficult to get really passionate about just making something technically perfect. And even if you do, a lot of times it's going to feel soulless. But you know, it's a category of thing I feel like anybody who understands how to make something perfect can do it. But it wouldn't say much about you other than that you have analyzed how things work in general, you know. A robot would make a perfect movie. A human makes a human movie, and humans are imperfect. So I want to create something that is as me as possible. And I think everything I do is that. I mean, this thing you're listening to right now is probably the most Digibro thing that's ever happened. But it's not good, per se. I mean, I don't know. It's coming out better than I expected. Some of these are probably pretty interesting rants. If you just like listening to a guy fucking talk about whatever forever, a lot of the stuff has got to be totally uninteresting to anyone. You know, like some people would probably fucking hate these videos. But, you know, it is very Digibro. But what I want to do is to create something that is, like, unquestionably of technical quality while being as Digibro as possible. Something that's tight and effective and not necessarily timeless, but that would be remembered and revisited as a way to revisit a point in time. Like, Endless Jess's Horseshoe Finale. Kind of the hardest thing about recommending that video to people is that, in my mind at least, it's very timely. Like, it is about this particular moment in internet history. And, like, the context surrounding it is so integral to what's good about it. But it's also explains a lot of itself and is just so thorough that there's plenty of people who've watched it even years later with no idea what MLP is or the analysis community and fucking loved it. Like, there are people who consider that their favorite video on YouTube who have no idea what it's about because it's just that fucking well made. It's something only Jesse could have done. It doesn't make sense in any context other than the incredibly specific one that it was made, but it is timeless in that you will keep revisiting it forever as an indicator of that moment in time. And I want to make something like that. You know, I've made some great videos that age badly. I've made some videos that age okay, but are not mind-blowingly incredible, you know? I want something that fills in that, you know, space. Horseshoe Finale was like a year in the making. You know, I've never made anything that took more than a month, tops. I've never made anything that took exhaustive mental effort and, like, going back and fixing it again and again until it's perfect. I've never done anything that, like, required me to put more than a day of thought into how it would be executed. You know, with the exception of maybe my light novel, or my original novel, Tales from the End of the World. And even that I wrote in about a month and then never touched up and finished. I want to do something like that. And I'm sure I have it in me. It's just a question of like, what will it be? Because I'm not gonna. I've tried many times to just fabricate that. I've tried many times to be like, I just want to make my ultimate project. What is my ultimate project? I don't know. And then I start like trying to compile ideas, and it's like none of this will be that. Like, Horseshoe Finale only made sense because the context that it was able to be created in, you know? And maybe I'm just not even old enough to do it yet. You know, Jesse's a few years older than me. You know, he had more life experience. He had more to talk about. He had more to say in that. He was kind of summarizing like 2 years of his career in one video. I don't know if I have anything that big. And maybe I'll never have anything quite on that level. Jesse is a greater genius than I, you know? But I think it's possible that I have a masterpiece in me. And maybe we won't see it for another 10 to 20 years. And what I'd really love to do is make masterpieces in multiple mediums. Like, if I make an incredible masterpiece on that level as like a YouTuber, I will never feel the need to do that again. Like, one masterpiece is enough for YouTube. I will then go try to make a masterpiece in some other field, you know? Like, to me, it's like all a build-up to when you put out your fucking one thing, and it's like, all right, I did it. I have ended this this chapter. You know, there's nothing left to prove here. I might still do YouTube, you know, but I will not be trying to make another masterpiece. I will not be out there to like top myself. I might do like even stuff that's similar, maybe even almost as good. But if I create a true masterpiece and like it's not something I can easily just top, then like, yeah. I mean, Asterisk War Sucks is close. It's not a masterpiece, but it's got that kind of like divine inspiration that like it couldn't just be duplicated by just picking some show and talking about it, you know? But I think I can do better. We'll find out one day.